Hello, all sentient beings, and welcome to the Transmissions Podcast, where we talk all Hasbro, Takara, and third party. Transformers! On this episode, there's not much new news, but we do have some Generation Selects up for pre-order, a third-party G1-styled Bulkhead, and more pictures of the Yolopark Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime model kit. Today is Wednesday, February 2nd, 2022, and this is episode 471 of Transmissions. Welcome to Transmissions, the podcast that knows that if you want to make an episode of your show great, just write a new episode of the show it spun out of and use that. I'm your host, Jeremy, aka Yakko, and I'm joined by the excellent Transmissions team. Scott, the illustrious Dr. Pants.
Does that mean alt mode this week is just this episode of Transmissions played again?
Yes.
All right.
Screw comics. And Daryl, the Cybertronian beast.
This is the way. Let's talk Transformers.
This is the way. All right. And Charles is on assignment this week doing nothing fun, I'm sure.
He's doing doctor things.
Yeah, he's doing doctor things.
Double doctor things.
He's on call.
I believe he's studying pharmaceuticals.
Oh.
All right. Well, yeah, we do have some new donatrons. Well, I guess the same donatrons, but Steve, aka Wolfwood, who's listening to us now, has doubled his pledge. So thank you so much for that.
Hey, Wolfwood.
And if you would like to support us, you can go to transmissionspodcast.com/support and support us via Patreon and PayPal. And if you do support us, join us in Discord. We record every Sunday night and have a decent number of regulars kind of listening, but always happy to have more people to listen to us screw up the intros and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'd say we have a good time, but I mean, who am I kidding? It's not. We have a terrible time here.
Oh, it's awful. That's why I keep coming back all the time.
Yeah.
We've got dirt on you.
Shh, don't tell them that.
As always, we like to promote our show Empire of Rust, which is a live play RPG podcast. I'm sure I got that wrong, but Mike's not editing right now, so it is what it is. And this is created by Mike, Transformers RPG, and this episode 68 came out on Monday, January 31st. It's called Rogue Star Trench Run. So be sure to check that out. Also, we have coming up next week our Toy Hacks drawing for January. We can't do it this week because Charles isn't here and he's in charge of the spreadsheet. So you have another week to enter. All donatrons, you don't have to do anything extra. But if you are not and you want to enter, just send an email to contest@transmissionspodcast.com by Sunday, February 6th with a picture of whatever toy you would like to get stickered, or really just whatever Transformer toy. It doesn't matter. And that will be your entry into the drawing. And the winner will get a $10 gift certificate to Toy Hacks.
We are well over $500 given away so far. Every time I keep a sheet of all the people that we've given to, and a quick little jot down of how much they've won. And I mean, it's not hard. It's $10, over and over and over again. But it
the
keeps
math
a tab.
is easy.
It keeps a tab. But it's we've been doing this for a long time. We really don't. We only really talk about it every now and then. But Toy Hacks has been a partner of ours for a really long time. So really, you want to put some props out to Toy Hacks for kind of doing this with us and giving us $10 to give away every month. Doesn't seem like much, but it's a lot of money they've given away.
Well, and if you look at the average price of their sticker sheets, $10 will get you a good amount of stuff.
Yeah, definitely at least one set for sure.
Yeah, and we talk about using their stickers and stuff on Transformers, but I have most of my purchases in the last few years have been buying them to sticker up my kids' Pinewood Derby car, and you'd be surprised how well it works. My kid did Hot Rod this year, and I used the Studio Series set, and it looks great.
Mm-hmm.
You should share pictures of it if you haven't.
I will grab it and show it off on trips to the store this week. I was not planning on it, but yeah, I can go grab it.
Sure. As a former Pinewood Derby crafter, I would be real happy to see that.
Okay.
Remind me of those wonderful days in Cub Scouts.
Yeah.
Wonderful days.
That will be a tease for trips to the store. And then finally, we launched last week our annual survey for Toys and Comics, Best of 2021. Go to transmissionspodcast.com/survey to fill that out. We have, I think when I check, well, just now, 146 people have responded already. So that is awesome for first week. And just, we'll have it open, I'm guessing, for a few more weeks, and just fill it out. Let us know what your favorite toys, both official and unofficial, favorite comics and creators and everything. We have tons of categories in there, and just let us know what your favorite things are. And then we'll have a live show after the results are tallied, and let everyone know what the consensus is from the fandom, at least the fandom that listens to us and fills out the survey, thinks of for the best of last year. And we are kind of dangling a carrot to help people want to do it this year, and giving away a few prizes. So Daryl, do you want to talk about what we're giving away?
Sure, Jeremy. Yeah. The prizes we're offering this year are just, it's just going to be a drawing for those that wish to enter the draw. So it's not mandatory. You don't have to enter the draw if you don't want to. So for people who do, they'll be put into a draw to win one of 3 prizes. And the first prize drawn is we're calling it like a media pack. It's a copy of the 4K release of the G1 86 movie, along with an art print that came along with it. And then we've got the Respect Prime Constructed Cold LP, and that's a CD. Yeah. So it's the EP CD, and it was put out by our good friend Jimmers, and it's a really great album. So that's prize number 1. Prize number 2 is the Generation Selects G2 Megatron that came out last year, and it's a really cool thing. It's awesome. It's sealed, so I mean, all this stuff that we're giving away is brand new. It's not used stuff. But that's a really cool toy. I mean, I have one myself. I love it, and it definitely looks the part for a G2 Megatron. And then the first prize, or the grand prize, if you want to call it that, is the Mastermind Creations. What is it? It's a Batman. It's the Batman Batwing. Can't remember what they call him off the top of my head.
Vexoprominion.
Vexoprominion. That's his official name. Yes, but he's Batman, and he was the TFCon 2020 exclusive for the online convention that would have been the Orlando convention, but obviously got put online. So that thing
sold out.
Oh yeah, it
so fast.
It went real quick, and it's a big draw online. So that's one of that's the big prize that we're giving away. So you don't have to, enter the contest. Don't want to, but the prizes I think are a pretty good, a pretty good draw.
Of the 146 responses right now, 97 have opted to enter the contest.
Awesome. Dr. Pants, have you completed the survey for us?
I have completed the survey. It was a lot of fun. Reminded me of all the great times of 2021. I turned my survey in. I think I did it actually today.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's a lengthy survey. Obviously, if you think back to the last 12 months and all the stuff that came out Transformers wise, there's a lot of stuff that happened. So give yourself a little bit of time to do the survey, and give us what your answers as to what you thought. It's been fun doing this, and we've been doing this survey for a long time too. I think this might be our 10th year doing it.
We've only been around for 8.
what maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
It is our 8th annual, because we have been doing this every year we've done the podcast.
Okay. I'll concede that. It's yeah. But the responses that we do get for the survey are pretty cool, and they definitely do reflect the response that the fandom has towards toys and comics. So yeah, it's real important. Not like life or death, but it's fun to see what the fandom what the consensus is on everything after the survey results come in.
Yeah. All right. Well, with all that business out of the way, let's talk about some toy news.
All right. And first up this week, I'm going to talk about something that the story came out last week, because this week, there's not a lot to talk about. So I figured, well, let's take a jog back to last week and see what was there. And we got a color render out of X Transbots. So just add this to the pile of stuff that they've thrown out there for the future of their release schedule. This is their Bulwark. It's a masterpiece scale G1 bulkhead. So this is kind of, I'm putting it in response to the Hasbro Legacy release of the Voyager bulkhead that came out. Or I guess it is out now. It's starting to hit the shelves, but
yeah.
This is the G1ified bulkhead that we've seen, where he's in this kind of army truck, alt mode. But he's still got the Transformers Prime or the or Transformers animated face and features. But he's definitely not that body type for that character. So this is the X Transbots version of that. They've definitely just remolded their, I'm going to say their grapple and I think it's, I do believe X Transbots has done an Inferno as well. So so it's both of those figures, but essentially they've just taken that figure and painted it into an army green, swapped out the heads, and they've the back portion of the vehicle mode, where it would be the crane for grapple or the ladder part for Inferno. They've put on this truck, trailer canopy area. It's a different looking vehicle. You can definitely tell the front end for being grapple and Inferno, but the robot mode has got this bulkhead head on it, and it looks different. I don't know. I'm gonna ask the guys what their opinions are here. So let's start with Dr. Pants. Dr. Pants, this is a bulkhead in G1 aesthetics. What are your thoughts on this?
My first thought is, holy crap, X Transbots is milking this mold, because they have an Inferno, they have a grapple, they have an Art Fire, and they have a hauler. So there's 4 figures in that mold already, and now they're doing a bulkhead. And cool that you're getting some of these out of the mold, but I don't like this for a bulkhead. He's too tall. He's too big in the wrong direction. He should be wide, not tall. And also, I really think they should have done something with the head to maybe make it match the body type more, because on these images, that head looks really out of place on this body. The body is very, very, very square, very G1, and then the head is very much like Transformers animated, Transformers Prime, and it's just, I don't think it fits. Also, he's got a gun. Where's the wrecking ball hammer fist? That needs to be an attachment. How did you miss this? I will say the alt mode looks really cool. I really like that for a bulkhead, and I like how the back piece kind of forms these wings above him and then unfolds to make the back of the truck. That's really cool. The color's spot on, and I think the mold looks really good. In fact, I'm tempted myself to get the X Transbots Art Fire for my Target Master set, but I wouldn't get the bulkhead. I don't think it's a great fit. I think they could have done something better.
Okay. Yeah, the wings on the back definitely ape the animated bulkhead figure with the kind of wings he got from his transformation. So I do exactly see what you're saying there, where it is kind of a bit of an homage to that character there. Jeremy, what are your thoughts? Do you see what Dr. Pants said there about the head kind of being the only round thing on the figure?
Yeah, I mean, it stands out pretty well there. I mean, the cab is a little bit rounded in the windows, but it's not enough to kind of make the head seem like it fits. And you can square off, the head, probably even just the mouth section, like make that faceplate less rounded, and that would probably go a long ways towards making it look more G1. But other than that, where's the wrecking ball? I mean, Hasbro in their version clearly, like they prominently display the wrecking ball hand, and for all the complaints that figure has gotten, that's one of the things that people admit they got right. But outside of that, I like the design. Like you said, the colors are spot on. I kind of prefer this truck rather than the kind of canvas covered truck that the Hasbro one kind of looks like.
Mm-hmm.
But I do agree that it's too tall in robot mode. And, the Hasbro one is still, pretty skinny in robot mode, but they bulked it out where he's wide and, kind of gives that impression of the size of Bulkhead from his other incarnations. Whereas this one is just, he's too tall. And, I would imagine there's something they can do to shorten it, since these are just renders, figure out ways to take some height off of them. But outside of that, I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it changes the mold, right? Obviously they're just repainting this same mold, but you could cut the thighs down. You could cut the calves and shins down, considerably. And then all you'd have to do is really just shorten up the, the covers on the back just to kind of match, right? It seems pretty simple, but again, we're not toy engineers. We'll see how it goes. As far as my own opinion, I'm pretty harsh on the Hasbro version. If this is going to be what, companies are going to do, I guess that's going to be, okay. I did like the fact that Bulkhead was always like, he was a fat guy, and he was, he wore it well, and his alt mode kind of showed off, and he, it worked.
We need characters with different body types.
Yeah. Get us fat guys some more representation out there in the, so, but it's an okay looking figure. If I, because it's not actually Bulkhead, right? If I look at it with a, just a discernible, toy collector eye, it looks like a very cool figure. I like the idea of it being this army, transport vehicle, that turns into a cool looking robot. But yeah, it's one of those things that if you're going for Bulkhead, it's not Bulkhead. But that's it. That's all I got to bring to the show this week. Jeremy, what do you have?
I have a couple Hasbro Pulse updates. The first is the Generation Selects DK2 Guard, which is the black version of Ironhide. This would be the Diaclone colors. It is now up for pre-order on Hasbro Pulse for $25 with a release date of April 2022. It's also up at a lot of the other online stores like BBTS, TF Source, stuff like that. So it's a wider release, and I think it looks good. I've seen a digibash of it with making it into the A-Team van, and if I got it, that I would love for Toy Hacks to make a set where you could do that. I think that would be awesome. But I think this looks really good. I believe this is the Siege mold. Is that right?
Earthrise.
Earthrise. Okay. Oh yeah, this the Earth mode truck. That makes sense. But I think it looks good. I have seen a lot of complaints that they haven't been able to get the regular colored Ironhide, and people are like, we would have really appreciated to have that in wider release.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this thing looks really good. And then just to follow up on something we've talked about in the past, they are doing the Trainbot Combiner from Takara. They're bringing that over to Hasbro Pulse, and the Getsui figure is up for pre-order for $140.99. Pre-order by February 9th, and it will be available to ship approximately Christmas Eve 2022. So this is going to be a pricey combiner for those that want to get all of those. But you know, it is such a cool looking train. So I guess we'll talk about primarily Ironhide, but if you have comments on Getsui as well, Dr. Pants, what are your thoughts on this?
I love the Diaclone colors on the Ironhide figure. I love that, like, mainly black with then red accents for the body, because it goes a long way for, like, you know, most bots you see, it's like a silver face and like gray parts in between the legs and arms. So this is kind of a nice change. And I have the Earthrise Ironhide and Ratchet. I really like those figures. I thought the Siege one was kind of cool, but the Earthrise mold went a long way to make it feel really, really great. I don't mind that the hood comes off and everything, and parts for me, but it looks like a good Ironhide or Ratchet. I think this figure looks really cool. I may pick it up, and then, but I already have Ironhide and Ratchet. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll get rid of those instead.
A-Team van.
Which, in all honesty, this just goes to show. Just do the collaboration with it. Just give us the collaborative A-Team van. You have it. You're like one paint stripe away.
Yeah, and just add a little spoiler on top.
Exactly. You're like right there. You can do it. Just because I haven't been on here since they announced like the Takara Tomy Getsui, I will say this. Everything you guys say about the train modes, 100% right. That train mode looks fantastic. They did a great job nailing the train. I do not like any other mode that this one has. I don't like the robot mode. I don't like the way the chest looks. It looks too square. Something seems wrong with like with the head. I don't know. I don't like the way this looks in robot mode, and the combined mode, like the way the leg sticks out to make the thigh piece. Something looks off with that. I don't know. Maybe I'm nitpicking, but in terms of a combiner, I like the Moon Studios one so far more. But Hasbro's nailing the trains. I got to give it to them.
Takara is.
Well, Takara, yeah. Takara is nailing the trains, which I shouldn't be surprised with. Being a Japanese company, they love their trains.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Daryl, what are your thoughts?
Well, as far as the guard goes, the black Ironhide, he looks cool. The paint scheme is very, very cool. The A-Team kind of crossover. Remember when they were talking about potential, collaboration? They said they always looked for anniversaries or some way to kind of tie it all together. Well, A-Team, it premiered in '83, which obviously next year would be the 40th anniversary of A-Team. We could see this as a potential collaborative figure at that point. I don't know. It's a Universal property.
They are friendly with Universal.
They are friendly with Universal, so there's potential. As far as looking at the older collaborative figures, they've only ever done a deluxe once just by itself. Obviously, there's been deluxes as part of something else before, but the Ectotron, not Ectotron, sorry,
Well,
Gigawatt was the only one that was a deluxe on its own.
What about Draculus?
I guess, yeah, that's another one. Got to think of some of the ones that I don't have. But yeah, so Draculus is another one. Yeah, okay, so that's another one. So there's potential. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that would be really cool though to do an A-Team crossover next year.
I was just looking. Knight Rider was 1982.
Okay.
You can get another use out of that sideswipe mold.
Oh my god! Please just kill that mold.
Couldn't they just do the Sunstreaker mold, do something different? Kind of.
Yeah, I mean maybe, but that's also universal, and Draculus is universal.
It's true.
So fingers crossed.
Yeah, so that's cool. I like it. I'm not in the market for these Diaclone repaints. It looks fantastic. Like I said, it is up for pre-order on GameStop. So that's the new name for EB Games here in Canada, and that is the pre-order price is $35.99. So it's a little bit more pricey here in Canada, but that's no surprise. As far as the Gatsui being available here on the Hasbro Pulse site, was the other one not available? Like, what happened to the first figure?
So it was on Hasbro Pulse.
It was? Okay.
Yeah.
So I went looking for it. I didn't see it here, so maybe it's already sold out.
Yeah. Search for MPG, but it is sold out.
Yeah.
It was 158.
Oh, okay. Cool. All right. Well, there you go. So it is it looks like you will be able to do that the full thing on Hasbro Pulse. That's cool. That's good. So I guess if you want to ballpark these things at around $150 a piece, that's probably your price tag.
Yep.
Oof.
But yeah, no, that's cool. There's some really cool things happening. 2022 is going to look a lot like 2021 as far as exclusives go. So, honestly, it's anybody's game at this point. I don't even want to hazard a guess as to what some of the exclusives and some of the the random things that end up as store exclusives show up as.
Yeah, I mean, when we had Draculus kind of show up, I'm like, okay, they're just gonna, who knows what they're gonna come up with as repaints.
Speaking of exclusives, one thing I forgot to say is, why is it that this mold for the guard, the DK2 guard, why has every version of this mold been an exclusive? It never got a general release.
Yeah,
I think
true.
that's one of the big complaints, I think, because wasn't it Walgreens?
Amazon for both, I believe, because it was the 2-pack with Ironhide and Prowl, and then Ratchet and Lifeline.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, I think I had the Siege Ratchet was Walgreens.
The Siege Ratchet was Walgreens.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right. That's true.
That sucks because it is a good mold. I think they did a good job, but.
All right. Well, I think that is all we got for me. So, Dr. Pants, why don't you finish this up?
I get to talk about one of my favorite things, and that is robot model kits. We have images and a release window for the Yolopark Bumblebee movie Earth Mode Optimus Prime model kit. So this is, of course, from the Bumblebee movie. This is Earth Mode that you see throughout the movie and whatnot. This is going to be a 30 centimeter tall kit for us in America. That's about a foot, about 12 inches. And it's looking to release. The price-wise, it says that it's on the Yolopark website for $113.95 US, but then on other websites you can pre-order it that are more local to us. It's looking to be around $200. I'm looking at pictures for this kit, and I am blown away by how good this looks. There is all kinds of molded in detail in so many of the parts, and one of the main things, like when I go looking for model kits that I want to see, is I want to see part separation. I don't want to have to do stickers and everything. And if this is $200 for us, there better not be that many stickers at all. It looks like the part separation on this is insane. If you look at the head, you can see all kinds of different seam lines between where the silver pieces are and the blue. The face detail is absolutely just mesmerizing. It's so cool. The fingers are all individually articulated, all the knuckles and everything. The different grays and silvers look fantastic. I think this looks absolutely amazing. My only complaint with it is that it comes with 2 weapons. It comes with a really big axe and then his ion blaster. And for all of the different colored pieces in the main kit, both of these are just molded in straight, like, dark gray black. And it looks like the axe is like a single piece. I really think they dropped the ball on that and they could have done something better with it. But, I mean, whatever. The kit itself looks fantastic. And for the price, I mean, 12-foot kit, or 12-foot, oh my God. A 12-inch kit for like $200 with that kind of detail. If it's got the part count, I think that might be worth it. I don't know. Let's throw it to Jeremy. What do you think, Jeremy?
I think this looks really good. I am not going to subject my fingers to putting something like that together. It just, there looks like there's going to be tons of little pieces, and I don't have the patience. But I mean, it looks amazing. I really like the colors on it. I agree with you on the weapons. How hard would it be to add, like, you have the silver for like the upper thighs and stuff. Add some axe pieces onto those sprues for the head of the axe. The gun doesn't really resemble his ion blaster much. I mean, you get the triangle kind of piece at the end, but I would have appreciated it to look a little bit more like his ion blaster, even though this is like a movie figure. It just, I don't know. I don't like it when it looks like a more Earth gun.
I want to believe that's how the gun looked in the movie, though.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
I just am not a fan of that look of the gun.
No, I agree. I'd rather it look like the ion blaster that we normally get.
That's a small, not minor nitpick. Everything else looks really good. I'm surprised because it does say in this news story that it is licensed for Canada and the US. And I think when we talked about this thing previously, it wasn't. So, I'm surprised that they're able to do a licensed model kit in the US when Flame Toys is also doing licensed model kits. So, it would be neat to know the intricacies of that detail. But, I'm all for official things like this where, this is for the community that likes to do these model kits. I'm sure more detail, more little pieces is something that they look forward to. It's just, I look at that and I'm like, oh, that would just be a weekend of hell for me. So.
Oh, no, that's like the best weekend ever for me. I see all those tiny pieces on the sprue. It's like, get out a drink. This is what I'm doing the whole time. But
yeah.
All right, Daryl, what about you? You're gonna drop the money. You're gonna spend a weekend building this, right?
Well, as much as I enjoy avoiding my family for 2 days straight, when I look at this, and it looks really cool, like really, really great. When I look at this, all I see are places that are going to get filled with dust. So that's what I see when I see this thing is future dusting that I won't be able to get the dust out of. And it pains me to see these kits in pictures, 6 months, a year, 2 years down the road that I know people have spent huge money on, and they're just covered in dust. And I know that if I got something like this, it would be me, because I'm the same kind of person. I have a G1 collection that I've spent a lot of money on, and there are figures in the back that I have not gotten to in a very long time. and they're worth a lot of money, and I really should, dust them. And, this thing would be brand new and it would be worth a lot of money, but would it be worth more to me than my, my G1, Thunderwing? No, but it would need to be dusted. And that's the kind of stuff that I just can't do at the moment. I don't have the time to just sit and dust things. So it would be a pass for me, but I will admire it from afar because it does look very cool.
And thank you for the reality check, Daryl, because now I have turned around and looked at my massive model collection, just realized, I should dust those at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Time to go buy some compressed air.
Yeah. So maybe I shouldn't invest in this and just take care of the ones I have. But who knows? By the time it comes out, I might change my mind.
Well, you just sell them as they get dusty.
Just sell them as they get dusty?
Yeah.
But they're my babies. I made them. I have so many fond memories of all those little pieces.
You just buy new ones and you make the new ones. That's what you do.
All right. I mean, that seems logical. And who might argue with you?
Sure.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah. Perfectly sane thing to say.
Anyway, that's all I got for this week.
All right. Well, that will wrap up our toy section, and we will move on to trips to the store. And trips to the store is the segment of our show that we show off all the awesome Transformers stuff we got this week. We do this as a video on YouTube, and we will put the audio right here in the audio podcast, but go check it out on video and see what all we got. And without further ado, trips to the store.
The Transmissions Podcast will return after these messages.
So without further ado, we'll get into what we actually got this week. And I am going to go first. And we had a discussion in the beginning part of the podcast this week about my kids' Pinewood Derby cars and using Toy Hack stickers to decorate them. And so I have all of his cars. So I've convinced him to do a Transformers theme. So his first one a couple years ago was Bumblebee, and I used, I believe, the Cyberverse Bumblebee set and he did this sticker placement and the painting. So that was cool. And what I like, even has a rub sign.
Oh, that's awesome.
That worked. Toy Hacks does have a full rub sign set. And then last year, almost broke his car. Last year he did Blur. Not as detailed as the Bumblebee, but got a rub sign.
How do these make weight? You're taking all the wood off of them.
No, so this one has a lot of weight on the bottom.
Yeah.
This one we used coins, and those came off because he still likes to play with them, and he's
like
rough
money
with them.
He still likes to play with money. Okay.
Well, no, he liked to play with the cars, and the money just
I see.
came off.
Spend the money. Yes.
Right. This year he did Hot Rod, and this is the Studio Series Hot Rod set that I used. No rub sign this year, but yeah, even put tail lights on.
That's still really cool.
Yeah. So I really, I'm going to try to keep him on the Transformers theme as long as he'll cooperate. And he wants me to try to do an Optimus Prime. So I might on my own do that and see if I can do it.
Not overly aerodynamic.
No, not at all.
No,
but it wouldn't be one to race.
No.
I think he said next year he wants to do jazz. So
that's a good one. How do these do in the races?
Well, the first year he actually won a most realistic prize that was voted on by all the scouts.
Nice.
This year, I think overall he came in 8th place out of 20.
That's not bad. That's pretty good.
So the top 3 or the top 2 were separated by like 1/10,000th of a second.
Oh my God. All right.
Something like that. It was some incredibly small number. So
who won most in disguise?
I don't know. The winner of like most creative this year, the kid put a bunch of Lego minifigs, and then it was kind of we kind of thought it was like maybe Mad Max themed because he had a bunch of minifig heads glued on as well. We were like, okay, but creative. So anyway, Transformers wise this week, I forgot this was coming. I thought I actually missed out on pre-ordering this, but I got the Mutant Tigertron from the Golden Disc collection. And it's I don't have the Cheetor mold. I don't have the regular Tigertron mold. And I haven't actually taken this off of the card yet, but this is it. I am not a fan of the mutant head.
I love that mutant head.
I do not like that, but I like the colors. Ironically, I just realized that the Lunar New Year is Year of the Tiger. So there, we're Happy New Year. It was yesterday. But the Tiger mode looks excellent. I'm looking forward to seeing this. I don't have a ton of Beast Wars toys in general, so looking forward to seeing how this works. And I'd probably leave it in Tiger mode just because I can't stand that mutant face.
Yeah, I wish the release of Tigatron had come with the mutant face, because my original one, I had that. I love that face. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
I mean, I wish that they would have just given you like a regular head underneath it, or let you replace the face with the mutant one.
I mean, the original toy, it just flipped down and became the mutant head. Like the head just rotated down, so they could. I don't know.
But this way they get to sell a whole other version. And so now I have one more in the Golden Disc collection coming, and that's Pterosaur. So I think he comes out in March. So, Daryl, what do you have this week?
Well, I'm going to start off with a comic, because I got Beast Wars 12. This is the A cover.
Ooh,
I forget who did it, but this is the A cover, and it's a cool looking cover. So yeah, Primal and Megatron fighting, and yeah, cool cover. Very purple. I got one figure that I wanted to reference because it's kind of in we talked about combiners and stuff last week, and how there's a lot of fake stuff that's happening, and we really didn't we were going to talk about it a little bit today, and we might still, I guess, we may have glossed over it a bit, but I don't have any Masterpiece combiners. When the Moon Studios one comes in and I complete that will be my first. So the only actual combiner I have from a third-party company is this one. Going back a ways, this is my Fans Projects Menasor, Intimidator, as he is actually called. And I love this thing. This thing was was top of the line when it came out. And, for anybody that actually did experience this thing when it actually came out, the limb figures are really impressive. They do reference real vehicles. So each car is a real world vehicle. I think that the truck is a real world truck too, but I really know very little about tractor trailers. But for anyone who actually did get this, the Motormaster figure, huge pain in the ass to transform. Really quite difficult. So, anybody who's got this thing, you may have only transformed it once to put it into Menasor mode. But again, if you have this guy, that he everything that he is in this figure. So it's all here. That's wow. All of it right there. And they really do a lot of really great work on this thing to actually make the Menasor look pretty much like Menasor out of, all the component bits. And there's not a lot of cheating. I don't think there is any cheating. But there's, a little bit of stuff that I wouldn't have really liked. They do this thing with the elbows that I think all the Combiner Wars figures did. But they did this thing long before Combiner Wars stuff did. And I kind of really, that gap in between, on the arm kind of sucked. But this is really the only one that I had. And back in the day, you could finish this Combiner for under $400.
Ooh.
Like each limb was $60, and I think Motor Master was $140. So it was pretty easy to get this guy done. But again, he's quote unquote chug scale, right? So he's not a
I was gonna ask, like, how does he scale with like Combiner War stuff? Is he like around there?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
He's probably about as tall as the Combiner Wars, their figures. And I think the Combiners, when they're done, they probably come a little shorter than him, but it's supposed to be about that scale. The two new figures I got this week, I picked up one because I really just like the alt mode, and for the life of me, I'm always forgetting this guy's name. Damn it, what's his name? I gotta check my own Twitter because I tweeted out a picture. You guys check my Twitter? I did. I do. I have Twitter. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. All right. There he is. So this is Chop Saw. And Chop Saw is from the Hunt for Decepticons line. Back in the day as well, he has a Reveal the Shield. So he's Reveal the Shield, Hunt for the Decepticons, flip-flop. But, his robot mode is atrocious. And it's very much a Bayverse, kind of looking alt mode. But this alt mode is really amazing, and it looks phenomenal. This motorcycle, yeah. Its color scheme is very Junkion-esque. So, he could be another Junkion. But I really just got it because the motorcycle mode is just fantastic. And to get other figures to, kind of ride it, that's essentially it. The other new figure is just another G1 for the collection. One that I never had. And unfortunately, it's not complete. I do have one piece I have to still get for it. But this is Action Master's Starscream.
Oh, man.
So Action Master Starscream is in need of his gun that goes in the front here. But he's in really great shape. Usually when you find these guys, their paint is all fucked up. And there's no way he's really good.
They kind of.
It's not good.
Yeah, you can tell the colors look really good.
The colors are really nice on this thing right here. Come on, you bastard.
That's another one I had as a kid. Like, I had so many of the Action Masters, and I remember the Starscream vehicle specifically. The weird chair jet thing.
It's ridiculous. Like, Starscream's vehicle for the Action Masters is a flying thing. Like, he's a jet. Like, why does his... it's not going to go. These cameras, this does sucks. But, so he's got a weird little, chair thing that he sits in for his weapons, whatever. But it does his chair transforms. And then he can kind of ride, that. I just wanted to take it out, because, that fell off. Because while I'm sitting here kind of waiting for this to kind of go, I was looking at it thinking, you know what? I think the Starscream will fit on the motorbike. So I'm going to take a quick look and see. And yeah, he looks pretty good, I think.
I'd say it's roughly Action Master sized.
Yeah. So I have to kind of fix the fix the legs the way they're kind of laying, but yeah, he could work.
Nice.
Starscream rolling that around. Easy Rider Starscream. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. That's all I had this week. Pretty light week for me.
All right. Dr. Pants, what do you got this week?
It was a pretty light 4 weeks for me. I'm waiting on all kinds of stuff to come in, and it's still not here. So I found a couple of things while I was out and about. One of the things I found, and I missed this the first time around, and I found it on clearance. I got the Studio Series, I don't remember which number, but it's the Dark of the Moon Optimus Prime with the trailer and everything. And like, I don't have a Studio Series Optimus Prime, so I was like, why not? And I like the Jetwing. I like powered up Optimus Primes. They're really cool. And he came with the trailer with all the weapons. And I gotta say, like, my favorite part about it is the Optimus transformation. It's really fun. It's really intricate, way more intricate than I thought it would be. But he's pretty cool, so he goes in the Studio Series collection. Along with that, I got another Studio Series figure. I got the Bumblebee movie Soundwave.
Ooh.
And, he is robot mode, fantastic. He's solid. He looks amazing. He still looks sad. But the articulation's great. He's not really hollow anywhere except like the inside of his thighs a little bit. But otherwise, everything's solid. He's got great articulation. He looks great. The paint feels good. It's not quite gloss, but it's not like a matte paint. It's like that kind of satiny paint. He does open up, but sadly, there's nothing in there right now.
Yet.
Yeah, not yet. As soon as I find that core class Ravage, he's going in there. The transformation is fun, but the alt mode is stupid. It's just a flying saucer, so
yeah.
But
the concept art on the alt mode looked a lot better. It seemed like they had to make a lot of compromises to make it a physical thing.
Yeah. But, I mean, the transformation itself is fun and way more intricate than you would imagine for him to pretty much just lay down. But also, it has one of my least favorite things to point out. He has light piping that's painted over.
What?
Yeah, he's got a clear piece in the back of his head, but it's painted over. Like, what? Why?
I hate when they do that.
Yeah, I know. I do too. I just love to point it out and be like, why are you doing this? But overall, he's a really cool figure. Really, really like him. I did have one thing come in that I had pre-ordered. I had a Hasbro Pulse Generation Selects Artfire and Nightstick.
Nice.
Yeah, so it seems like we might be getting more of the Target Masters, because I believe on a leak we looked at, there might be like a point blank or a sure shot. Go with that one crosshairs we got, so I will always pick up more Target Masters. The Inferno grapple mold is great if you haven't picked it up. This is the Inferno mold, so it's got the pegs fixed on the feet and everything. And the paint on this looks great. He looks awesome in these colors. I like the white and red. Beautiful blue. The head sculpt looks great. And of course, Nightstick, got a Target Master. And he came with all kinds of effect parts too. So that was cool. And with that being all that I bought in the past month, I thought I'd show off one other thing, because if there's one thing I like to point out on this show, it's that I love big bots. So
you cannot lie.
I cannot lie, and I'm not going to slag about this. I've had it for a while, but I don't think I've showed it off. This is my Gigapower Grassor, the only Gigapower Dinobot I have, but Slag was one of my first Dinobots I owned, and when I saw this at a convention, I had to pick him up. And I gave him the red face, because I like the red face. It's cool. But he is gigantic, he is chunky, he is heavy, and the transformation is just so much fun. And he lights up like everywhere. There's lights in the head, the sword, the gun. I mean, how can you not love just a big, chunky Dinobot? So he actually stands next to, I have an oversized knockoff Grimlock that's a masterpiece, and then they're standing behind the Studio Series Grimlock and Slug, so yeah. But I love me some Dinobots, and they gotta be big. Gotta be big. But that's what I got for this time.
We now return to the Transmissions Podcast.
All right, and that was our trip to the store. And let's move on to some convention news. All right, this is becoming a trend. The Melbourne Toy Hobby Licensing Fair for 2022 has been canceled. It was canceled last year as well, but they are still planning to have a digital event to take place. But Hasbro has not announced any participation in that. Hasbro traditionally does have a big presence at this event with a lot of fan events, but Due to the pandemic, they have just canceled it again. So we'll see what they do online. The digital version is still supposed to take place March 28th through April 1st. So, we'll see if there's any Hasbro involvement in that. All right. Well, that is our convention news. So we would normally end with feedback, but we don't have any. So get to our what?
I have feedback.
Oh, Dr. Pants.
I was planning to put feedback in, but then you guys asked me to be on tonight, so I'll just give it to you now. You guys were
live
talking
voicemail.
Yes, because the people want to hear my voice more. I know they do. You guys talked last week about the Zeta Toys aerial bots and how they were cheating with the parts forming. And I just wanted to point out that even though their legend scales kind of cheat with parts forming, so did their masterpiece scaled Superion and Bruticus. Actually, they just had the torso where you slid the piece in, so they've been cheating for a while.
Mm-hmm.
We had a lot of conversation in Discord also about following the last show about this stuff.
That's fair. I wasn't on listening to the show, but yeah. Zeta's been cheating for a while. It does make a really nice looking combiner, but
that's the thing. They want to make a specific mode look the best it can, and they're just compromising by cheating.
Yeah.
The people in our Discord that were chatting about it, there's people on both sides of it. There are people who really prefer the look of the combined mode to be perfect, and as long as the robot modes look good, the alt modes look good, and then the combined mode looks fantastic, they really don't care that there's a giant fake piece being used to make it work. There was some really good points made in the Discord, a really great discussion, a fantastic discussion. Honestly, when you've been in the Transformers fandom long enough, you come across, my way is this way. Well, I don't agree with you. Well, you must be a piece of shit then. Oh, well, wait, you're a piece of shit. And then it just divulges into, absurdities. This conversation was fantastic. There was only pieces of shit called upon people 5 or 6 times, it really was. But no, there was, nobody called anybody a name. It was a fantastic discussion. And honestly, I think that, I don't think anybody's minds were changed, but I think some really great opinions were shared, and just a great discussion was had. Everyone likes what they like, and you don't have to like what other people like. If you like the way that the Zeta Toys does it, by making a giant faux piece, fantastic. Doesn't mean that I have to like it. It doesn't mean that Dr. Pants or Jeremy have to like it, or maybe they do. And that's just the way it works. It's the way, tastes work. I don't like tomatoes. My wife loves them, and yet we get along. It's crazy. So yeah. But there's a really great discussion here, and I welcome these kind of discussions in our Discord. So, the faux parts or fake parts or parts forming has gone all the way back to G1 in Transformers. I think all of the combiners were made up of fake parts. But now people are craving something more. And if you want the perfect combiner, then you might have to, accept some fakery. It's something that I'm not accustomed to. Like I said in Trips to the Store, it's my personal tastes, but if a company can make it work, a combiner mode, if they can make a combiner mode work without faking anything out, I'm much more akin to buying their product. So, and yeah, it's just one of those, things. Like I said, though, in trips to the store, I've never actually bought a full-fledged Masterpiece Combiner. So these two, legend scale ones are going to be my first experience with that. But yeah, it's interesting to see the way that this is kind of polarized the fandom. But yeah. It's interesting.
I think it's just nice that we have like so many variations that you can do kind of what you want, like you said, where there is a Superion out there that, like, when it's put together, it's big and it looks like the cartoon, like Zeta did. And yes, they have to cheat. Or, I mean, we've got Make Toys out here who's doing all included combiner parts where there is no parts forming, like every piece is included, but they don't look incredibly show accurate and they're not quite big enough for Masterpiece, but like that gives you what you want. Or I'm sure there's some other company out there you could go to.
Yeah,
it's true.
There's so much choice out there now.
Hmm.
But I think now, Daryl, you have divided our Discord on your tomato hate, and now the battle lines are being drawn.
I'm with Daryl on this one. Hate to say it.
Oh,
I've never liked them. My brother loves them. He used to grab tomatoes out of the garden and just bite into them like apples. And I just would look at him like, what are you doing? That's so gross. He's like, I love them. I just love them.
My son does that. Those little grape tomatoes, my son will just like eat a whole container of them.
No, it's just, he would, the big beefsteak tomatoes, he would grab them and bite them like apples. And I'm like, that's so gross. You got to stop. And he's just like, I love it. He's just, give me a little salt shaker and I'm just in heaven. And I'm like, oh,
it's like biting into a water balloon that has no taste.
I can't do it. Yeah.
Well, let us know where you fall on either the combiner and faux parts debate or the tomato debate. Just let us know. transmissionspodcast.com/feedback.
Yeah. Here we go. We're going to divide it even further.
Charles will be like, what the hell did y'all talk about? Anyway, we also always like to end our show thanking our Masterpiece Donatrions, who are the people that support us on the highest level on Patreon. And they are John Forex, Levingood, Dinobot Maximize, Demon Tech 82, and Curtisicon. So thank you for supporting us at that level. And, thanks everyone that has, bought something from our TeePublic store or, supported us on Patreon or PayPal, or even just send us feedback. It's greatly appreciated. And really one of the best things you could do right now is to spread word about our survey, transmissionspodcast.com/survey. That will be a great big help getting, our name out there. And we want to find out just kind of beyond our show, just what the greater Transformers community thought was the best of 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. If you're listening to us right now on a computer or some mobile phone or something like that, and you're not driving, maybe pull up the show's Twitter or one of our Twitters, and just reshare or retweet the survey tweet, just to get it out there, because it really does help the just bring it to more eyes. And even if you've tweeted it once already, just retweet it again and just kind of throw it out there, because you never know who's looking at what time and that kind of stuff. Just we really want to get as many eyes on this thing as possible, and it's just a really cool survey. It takes us a lot of time to put together, so we really do like to get as many eyes on it as possible.
Awesome. Yeah, and I think that will do it for this week. Dr. Pants, why don't you tell everyone what you have coming up?
Well, if you're listening to this when it comes out on Wednesday, then you can check our YouTube channel. That is Nerdstradamus. That's where my friends and I do all our things. We just posted our newest video on Monday, where we talk about the video games that we are most looking forward to in 2022. So you can check that out. Plus, we did an episode where we talked about our favorite games of 2021. You can check us out on all the social media. We're Nerdstradamus everywhere. There's Nostradamus.com where you can check it out. And then you can find me as Dr. Pants 1412 on Twitter. I don't really post much, but hey, I'm there. If you want to talk to me?
Awesome.
That's where you can find me.
Yeah. Or in our Discord. Yeah. And I don't know if anyone knew this, but Daryl has a Twitter at Cybertron Beast, and I have a Twitter at yakko.org with a 0 for a no. And you can find all of that in the post for this episode. But thanks everyone for watching or listening, and we will talk to you next time. Bye.
See ya.
Later.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Transmissions. If you'd like to join the conversation, travel to our Discord channel at transmissionspodcast.com/Discord. Want some cool transmission swag? Feast your eyes on our transmissions gear at transmissionspodcast.com/shop. If you'd like to support our podcast, go to transmissionspodcast.com/support or tell your friends about our show. We'll see you next time.
But in London, Hasbro has dropped out of London Toy Fair 2022. This follows the New York one and the Nuremberg Toy Fair. So London Toy Fair is still planning on going ahead, but Hasbro has dropped out. And this is again related to the pandemic. So that is sad, but some of the Hasbro licensees are still going to be there with licensed products, but no new announcements from Hasbro directly.
London Toy Fair was scheduled to be held the 25th to the 27th of January. So,
well then,
maybe
Jeremy, you can just take that part out.
Maybe it happened. Maybe it didn't.
Who knows?
Who knows?
All right. Well, future Jeremy is just going to take that part out. And I love cucumbers and I hate pickles. So
you're a terrible person.
Yeah. My dad was the opposite. And I hate vinegar.
What?
Yeah.
What? What? I don't think we can be friends anymore, Jeremy. What about dill pickle chips? Wait until you have ketchup chips. Pretty, or all dressed. Do you have all dressed? Oh my God. You need to get the Ruffles kind. The Ruffles kind are the best kind. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, they're here in Canada all day, every day, 365. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll get a box and I'll just send them to you. Yeah, we'll go. You come up, a couple days early, and then we'll sort it all out.